Hello, everyone. This is Bertina with Spiritual Sanctuary Wisdom for the Divine Feminine podcast. Working with Kim at KP Creative Media completely transformed my podcasting journey. Through clarity calls, workshops, mentoring, and ongoing guidance, I've gained consistency, which was my main goal, but I also grew audience, and most importantly, I found a confidence and joy in podcasting. I now feel grounded, clear, and I'm really excited about podcasting. As a college instructor, teaching and speaking come naturally for me, but I needed someone who could help me trust that I was on the right path. And Kim helped me trust my voice and know that I was on the right path. I can't recommend her enough. Thank you.
Welcome back. I am Kim Parkinson, and you're listening to Podcasting for Spiritual Women. And today we're doing a coaching call with Lisa Russick, and she is the host of We're All Psychic. And you filled out one of the podcast growth clarity calls. And I am so excited because you have 498 episodes. Is that right?
I don't know. It's over 450. I'm not sure how many.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so yes, I'm looking at it right now. It's 458 in Apple. So that is congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
So when did you start podcasting?
My first podcast was recorded August 6th, 2019.
Wow. So pre-COVID. Way to go.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. There's a study that just came out today that said that people are more apt to pay for sponsorships and support shows that are pre-COVID. Isn't that weird? That's interesting.
Really?
So yeah, it just came out today. Yeah.
Interesting.
So,
yeah.
I think it's the longevity piece of it, right? So there's so many different podcasts that were like published in 2020, but then they just died on the vine. But people, they're still out there, but people aren't actually publishing to them any longer.
Right.
Out of the millions of podcasts that are out there, I think only like something like 300,000 have regular updates to their feed, which is crazy and mind-blowing.
I know we're in the top 10% of podcasts, but we've been there for a few years and we haven't really budged anywhere. We just stay steadily right there,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, and what is your...
So, yeah, that's where I got that. And Spotify says we're top 10% in Spotify. And when we did our Wrapped, we got an award. Most shared podcast. Yeah, one of the most shared podcasts is videos or podcasts or something like that on Spotify.
That's amazing. Congratulations. Yeah. I love that. I absolutely love that. Wow, you must be so proud of yourself. So that's great.
It's just great, that people resonate with it because I put no money into it except the programs that until my sponsorship came and they paid for the programs now. But I still pay to make it,
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's energetic exchange too, right? It's not just,
but it's so fun. It's worth it. Especially because I get to meet just incredible people. The people I meet on the podcast are just like, they teach me so many things. They're just amazing.
That's awesome.
It's my favorite part. Yeah.
Now I did see you have a co-host.
New co-host. Yes. My first co-host was Miss Lore, and she was there from she joined me in 2020. And then I think she was there till season 8. And we're in season 9 right now. And Donna's joining. We're doing a podcast today at 2, actually. And we're going to make it. I mean, it's already made official, but I think when the new year comes, we're doing season 10. So, yeah.
That's great. Now, you mentioned that you're doing seasons. What do you view a season as? I'd love to know what other people.
It just kind of feels like it's done. It just feels done. Or if I'm getting too high up there in the episodes, and it looks like 100 episodes in a season, that's what happened to the first, second, or something like that. I was like, oh God, I got to cut these down to like 50 or 60 episodes a season. So that's what I try to do.
Interesting. Okay. All right. I like that. Everybody's got a different idea of what a season should be. And, I launched my podcast in June of last year or this year. And it's not next year yet.
God, come
recording anyway. Not when we're recording anyway. So, June of 2025. And, I actually decided not to ever do seasons. So that's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah.
I think there's no right or wrong. That's the beautiful part about podcasting.
There isn't.
There's no right or wrong. So.
There's no book.
Great. Yeah, exactly. All right. So I want to just kind of give you some pointers if I could. Is that okay with you? All right,
Of
great.
course.
So you filled out some of the form that I have when you do the growth clarity call. And so you mentioned that you're not growing. And you also mentioned that you're not, while you understand SEO, you're not really all that interested in doing
Oh, we're
it.
growing. We're growing steadily year by year, but with the SEO and all that's just,
Yeah.
I didn't know we were growing until I got my Wrapped though. So I
Okay.
didn't think I was. But so when I wrote you, I may not have gotten that Spotify Wrapped.
Oh, that's possible. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you sent this in, I think like last week or the week before. So yeah, it was not too long
I
ago.
would have
But
gotten the Wrapped by then. Maybe I just didn't know what I was talking about. Because I feel to
possible.
me, that feels like growth. They said it was up 21%, and that's about every year it goes up. Well, they said 999%, but the actual number they used was 21 something or something. I don't know.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
so it's like every year it goes up about that amount, So
That's
I don't know.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you, when you do your stats, do you keep track of your statistics at all? No. Okay. That's
I'll
okay.
look at it. I know what they mean and stuff, but
Mhm.
I mean, it's so hard to go to all these different places and quantify what I'm looking at compared to what I'm looking. They're all different. They're all different. They're all
Mm.
saying different things to me. So it's like impossible to know who's listening. It seems like I don't know. I can't figure it out. Now I know there's
Yeah.
some sites you can pay to get some supposedly better information, but I don't really trust those. I don't know if it's true or not.
No.
Because you just
No.
don't know. They're
Yeah.
everywhere.
I just stick with the stats that are inside your host. So I know that because I did some searching. So I know that you're using Anchor or Spotify for creators
I
now.
started with Anchor. Yeah.
Yeah. And so any kind of stats that they share with you inside there, those are the only ones that I would pay attention to. Although I will say, if you upload to YouTube separately, that's
I
a
do.
whole different beast. That's a whole
I
different
do.
beast. So they
I
have
just
their own
started doing that
stats.
this year. And then they imported my podcast from the RSS feed after they realized that was a podcast. But they didn't import the videos. And Spotify's already deleted some of the older videos. So,
Interesting. Yeah.
unless they were just audio. I mean, I have memories of a lot of them being video podcasts, but then when I go back, they're just audio. But I'll say listeners and watchers usually. And that's how I'll know the difference if it was the video.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. So inside of your actual host, which is the Spotify for podcasters, whatever the downloads are, those are people that find you in Spotify. They find you in Apple. They're the ones that find you in all of those distribution platforms, Overcast, Podcast Addict, and all of that. So anybody except
Oh no, they changed it. They don't have anyone else's stats anymore. They changed it. It's all Spotify. They may show
Really?
like
They don't give you
they
anything.
changed it. Yeah, like I'll show you, man. It's weird. I was kind of upset about it because I liked getting my phone's already. I had to do an update, so I might not be able
That's
to. Well,
okay.
I have another phone. Aw.
Yeah.
So I have two phones because I lose my phones and I have to call it. No, actually, I built an application and I needed an Apple to run it on. And let me see if I can get this up real quick. Let's see.
That is interesting that Spotify does not allow you to see any other stats. That's a
They
shame.
changed it. They changed it. They used to have a lot more. I'll show you.
Yeah.
Analytics on. See, it just says on Spotify. I don't know if you can see all my.
Yeah, I
They
do.
changed
Yep,
it.
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, they changed it.
That
It's Discovery.
is...
It's all Spotify. Whoops, if you can see that.
Yep.
I haven't. I'm my mirror thing right. So yeah.
Yep, I can see it. Yeah. Oh my
It's a
goodness.
shame they did that, but it
That is a shame.
Is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I guess then all you have to go on is whatever Spotify tells you for Spotify, and then whatever YouTube tells you for that. So, but if they're telling you that you get an email that you're growing and stuff like that, I guess that's a good benchmark for that. So that's
yeah.
Yeah. And I know that you're available on Apple and some of the other platforms because I went and looked. So you're definitely still getting pushed out to those platforms. They're just not collecting the data for it.
Well, I can log into the Apple podcasters thing and look at my stats through Apple. I can log into, there's another one I can log into and look at stats. I can't remember which one it is. It's free,
Yeah.
So Apple stats and Spotify stats are almost exactly the same.
Good.
So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So like when I use the host Captivate.fm, and when I go to Captivate, I can actually see all of my stats from across all of the platforms. They actually import everything for me. So that's what the nice part is, I guess, about about like that, something like that, rather than.
What was that called again? I was going to make a note.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's Captivate,
Okay.
CAPTIVATE.FM. Yeah. And
Thank you.
it's not just Captivate. I use Captivate. I like Captivate. You can have multiple podcasts on Captivate for one price. You can even have one behind a paywall for one price, which is so nice. And I don't mean for this to be like a Captivate commercial or anything, but then there is also Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout has its pluses as well. And then the other one that I know a lot of people like to use is Libsyn. I am not a big fan of them at the moment. Captivate and Buzzsprout, you can add dynamic ads into. So you could do an ad for something that you could do an ad for your sponsor, or you could do an ad for somebody and just dynamically add them in. Whereas Libsyn has not had that availability, although I think they're getting there. I think they may be offering that soon, but not to my clients that are on the tier they're on yet. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see
gotcha.
But anyway, so I wanted to go over a couple of little tweaks maybe we could talk about. Now I know that you also said that you don't do SEO, but I think that even just here in this call, we could maybe go over a few SEO terms and just tweak things just a little bit. And just by tweaking them, you can see the growth. You may be able to see the growth happening, right?
Right.
And so the first one that I just wanted to talk to you about is like the actual title. Now, I love that you have so many episodes and you've been around for so long. So I'm not at all suggesting that you change We're All Psychic. I think that's great. What I would maybe suggest, and what I am suggesting, is adding a title extension. Now, I know that you could put in like a colon after it. This will not change the title, your cover art. This doesn't change how you introduce your show. This doesn't change anything except you put it right in Spotify as the new title.
It'll be like We're All Psychic podcast or something like that.
Yeah. So don't use podcast because,
Okay.
that's so
what would
well
I use?
So I came up with a couple of extra words for you to add to it. So you would leave We're All Psychic in there, and then you would maybe put a hyphen or a colon, whatever you'd like, and then maybe put in afterwards metaphysical, spiritual, and psychic conversations with humor. Something
I'll
like
think
that.
about that. I'll do that. I like that. Because it explains more what it is. Because all I have right now is listen and see if you relate. And I just, I haven't changed it in 6 years.
Yeah. So this would actually go right in the title section of your.
Yeah, I'll work on that. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
No obligations. But what I'm mentioning here is that those are just like a couple of extra keywords for people to find you.
Yeah, so, I like that.
Additional pieces. Yeah. And you can use those. So it's metaphysical, spiritual, psychic conversations with humor. You could use that also in your description as well. So how podcast players usually find podcasts is the first one is they're going to search, they're going to look at your title, and they're going to, like, if somebody is typing into a podcast player, they want to know more about psychics, then they're going to, metaphysical or spiritual psychics or something like that, or psychics with humor, then your podcast would show up. If it's the title, in those keywords are in the title. If those keywords are in the description of the podcast, not the show notes, but the description of the podcast, and then in your title of the episodes. So anything that you put in the show notes themselves is not searchable on podcast players, but they are searchable in YouTube.
Okay.
So there's a difference there. So
gotcha.
Yeah. So just be aware of
using on the browser.
Of what it is that people are searching for. And again, I know that you mentioned that SEO is not really your thing, but
I used to do it a long time ago, but it in the 90s. That's how far out I am from it. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I couldn't. I'd have to take a class on it or something.
Yeah, and realistically, it's just words that you use quite often, because you know what words you're using. So you're probably using spirituality a lot. You're using metaphysical a lot. You're obviously using psychic a lot, but psychic is already in the title. So, that, but I would just kind of go with like words that you feel like you're obviously talking about on a frequent basis, you know.
Right.
So I know that you just did a episode with Bertina, and I know she is a priestess. So if you had done a title that said something about being a priestess, you would then get picked up for that.
Oh, I should have put a priestess in there. Oh, well, my goodness. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Just in the title. You don't have
the
to,
title.
I mean, you can put definitely anything you want in the show notes.
Priestess Bertina's interview. That's what I should have called it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And because she's got such a unique name, I would definitely have left
I know,
that
right?
in too.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you know Bertina, then you know Bertina.
Yeah.
If you don't know Bertina,
It's awesome.
you should look her up. Yeah.
Yes, you should.
So, and then I would definitely say that adding in, you can go back at any time and update any of those, any titles that you have. So even if you're like, oh, I should have done that, you still can, because anybody that's downloaded it onto their device isn't even going to notice that it's different. And all it's going to do is it's going to bring more listeners in. It's not going to.
That's a great idea. Thank you.
Listeners. Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
You. That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah. And any one of your podcast episodes that you have that, like you have one here from December 5th that says Out of Our Heads, John's interview, but I don't know anything about who John is. But if you had added in, you know, interview
local
with
musician, Nashville musician or whatever. Yeah.
Nashville musician would have been an amazing part, because I
can go back through. Can I go back through all my episodes and do that?
Absolutely,
I might.
You can. Yeah,
I might do that. I got the time on my hands.
You have 458. Just do a couple at a time. You don't need to do them all.
I am a Taurus and I have a Capricorn moon, so watch out.
Okay, never mind. You'll do them all. You'll stay up all night and do them. I already know. Yep.
No, I'll just go back 2 seasons. Nobody watches the other ones anymore, I don't think.
Well, and here's the thing.
You never know.
If you find that there was an episode back there that you absolutely loved, that was...
Well, the Palmistry one's our most popular podcast, and I don't know why. Yeah. It's got more than twice as many downloads as our other second most popular podcast.
Nice.
But it's just the Palmistry 1, not the Palmistry 2. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder... I
must have done something SEO-y.
Yeah. Yeah, you must have done something that really pulled them in. And have you done another one recently on Palmistry?
I did the Palmistry 2 about a year ago, but it was, I think, two or 3 years in between the 2 episodes.
Gotcha. Did you also mention the old episode in the first one?
I put a link to it and everything. Yeah.
That could have been it too, because if they were listening, they would then go back and listen to that one. So you'd got
it was already. People. It has always been since I published it. It has been the number 1 podcast I have in my register, you know, of all my podcasts. And I don't understand why. I really don't, because you can't. It's not a video. You can't see my hands. And I'm doing a palmistry video, but I'm telling people how to read their own hands in that kind of with intuition, you know, well, using just knowing what everything. But when I did it, it was really boring and dry to me. And I thought it'd be like the most boring podcast I published. And it's the most downloaded one. So I guess I did something in the description that was somewhat magical. I don't know.
Yeah. You know, you could go back to the description now, and you could also say, I did a palmistry 2. You can listen to that here and link it.
Done that. Yeah, I don't think I've done that. So I will. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So tell me, you have a sponsor. Tell me about your sponsor.
Well, our sponsor is Everclear.com, and it's also my boss or my employer. I'm an independent contractor psychic reader for Everclear.com. They are an app and the website. So I work for them. And after I've been doing the podcast for about 1.5 years, I asked if they'd be the sponsor. And about 4 months later, they said yes. And they gave me, I think, I don't know, they gave me a little like 50 or 100, I think, a month. And then I asked them for more money when we got in the top 10%. Yeah. And they gave me an extra 50, or so I get 150 from them. And that covers all my programs pretty much. And, but with my mailbox and stuff, I already canceled my website because I can't afford it right now. So I've still got my mailbox, which I'm keeping forever, hopefully. And so that's, that's what's happening there. And they're great. Okay. I had actually asked them, about increasing the revenue and stuff. And they were like, well, we could, they said, but we'd want to have more control over your content. And we really like what you're doing yourself, and it's kind of your thing. So we'd rather you just do you. And so that's how that worked out. And now that Donna is the co-host, she's also one of the Everclear employees. She works for or contractor through Everclear. And Donna and I have been friends since we met. Like, we're both writers. We both love to talk about tarot. We love to talk. And so I'm really glad she's going to be the co-host. But I don't like ads. I like host read ads, but I don't want to record ads because they drive me freaking crazy, and I will turn it off. I will not listen to my own podcast if it has ads all through it. So that I am picky about that. I'm very, very, very picky. In the beginning and the end, that's fine, but I do not want them in through there. It's very important to me. A host read's not a problem to me. I can throw that in there anywhere. You know, but I really don't want to. I can record them myself. I have all the gear to do that and stuff, but I don't want to do that. It's very important to me not to do that to the podcast. Yeah.
So they're like a silent sponsorship.
No, I do say I'd like to thank our sponsor, Everclear, where you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve by going to psychic events. Yes.
Love it. Okay, great. And so you do that in every episode, and it's so it's baked right into the episode, not dynamically added or anything. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. And so part of the piece that you also gave me was that you mentioned that you wanted to bring more money in. How do you view that? How do you envision that?
I don't know. I would like to live off of it, but I don't know how to do that, and without putting a bunch of ads in it, and I don't want to do that. So it's a compromise, I don't know any other way. I've written different like publishing companies, and I've gotten guests that way. But I was asking if they wanted to have put any ads in, post read ads, and I would end up getting guests, but I don't know if they were gonna. Nothing came from it. So, and I don't know how to write that. I'm a writer. I'm a ghostwriter too, and I know how to pitch books, but I don't know how to pitch a sponsor or a sponsorship or someone to pay for a podcast or give me money for promoting their whatever during my podcast, if I agree with it. I'm not going to promote a Hyundai.
No, of course not.
I had one. Yeah. It was a good car though. My Hyundai Elantra lasted from 2008 till 2023, so it wasn't that bad. But it still had 60,000 miles on it.
Yeah. No, I would not.
I just did it. I just advertised for a Hyundai.
I would definitely not think that that would be something that you would want to put into your.
Yeah, I don't think the psychics really care about a Hyundai. So anyone really listening to a psychic podcast would really care about that car in particular.
Yeah. Okay, so do you offer any programs, courses, anything?
I tried that. I built an application and nobody bit. So I had teachers and everything, and we just never got anywhere with it. And I couldn't afford to keep it up after a year. I couldn't pay the $600 to keep it active. I guess, after Christmas, I might have some money and I could, but I don't really want to do that. But I like teaching, but I like teaching on the podcast format. So if I do classes, I don't know how to engage people to come to my classes. They wouldn't come when I tried it before. They didn't. And now I don't really feel pulled to teach anymore like that. I feel pulled to do the podcast more so. I really was at the time very, very pulled to teach it, any of the subjects, especially divination. But now I'm kind of lost and directionless with what I want to do in my life. Honest to God. I'm happy and settled, but I don't really know what else to do to move forward or what I'm going to do with myself. So.
Yeah. Do you ever offer tarot card readings or divination readings or anything like that?
I don't do it on the podcast, but I say that I'm an Everclear advisor, and I work at Cosmic Connections in Nashville, and I have mediumship on my website. But my website's down right now. Only a couple people have used the mediumship in 6 years, and no one ever bought anything out of the shop. The website was just there to be. I might reactivate it. I don't know.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm getting at is if you were to mention that you do maybe Zoom tarot card readings, or something like that.
Yeah. I don't want to go away from. Well, I don't want to go away from Everclear or Cosmic Connections. I don't want to go with my own. I do that for some local clients, but that's kind of on the down low. I want to stay with the companies because I get more money that way. Honest to God,
Sure. Makes sense. Yeah.
I can't look someone in the eye and ask for that kind of money, to be honest with you. But if
Yeah.
it's in between us and they already know what they're doing and walking in, same with Cosmic Connections, they know what they're paying before they come in. They know it's up front, and I don't have to have them saying, well, I can't do that. I'll be like, yes, I'll give it to you for free. I'll do it every time, and I'll be poor and hungry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I like that middleman because I can't say no when they
Okay.
talk.
Okay. Totally get that. Totally get that. So I guess in this particular case, you really are more geared towards looking for maybe additional sponsors or some other type of sponsor, but
Some kind of
not
income from the
necessarily.
podcast. I don't know where
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how about, I actually just had another idea. How about swag, Printify?
I've tried it already. They don't buy it.
You have? Okay. And when was the last time you tried it though? Like, have you?
Well, it's still
'Cause
live. I mean, you can get it you can get it on TeePublic. Everything's on TeePublic. The logo, tarot card stuff, all kinds of stuff is on TeePublic. And I just didn't really announce it. I did for like a year or two, and nobody bought anything, so I stopped announcing it. It was on the website though, and they just didn't buy it.
But
Yeah.
have you mentioned it recently? Like, just drop it.
Well, I
in
can't
there in
because the
podcast
website's
episode.
not there, and you can't find it unless you go to TeePublic and have like or I guess I could do that, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
They don't buy it. They don't. I mean, I get the the what do you call it, commission if they do. I get like a $2 for every shirt. I mean, it's not free, but that's all I can afford. I can't afford a pre-printing.
Yeah, of
I
course,
can only do the print on demand, but they just don't buy. They just want to listen.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just trying to find a way to get your listeners because you have
I have
really
to.
great
I've tried all
downloads.
these ways. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
you have
love
really
it.
great downloads, and I'm just trying to get them to help sponsor you. So there's another one, Buy Me a Coffee. Have you tried that?
I've seen that before, but I don't know how to do it.
So it's also free, and it's just called Buy Me a Coffee, and it's a donation. Or you could.
I have
you tried
donate on my website. I have donate on my Spotify, and no one donates.
Have you tried Patreon?
Yes, and that did not work out at all. Nobody came.
Okay, but
I went for days and days. I
often-
went for like a month and posted, and nobody joined. Not one person.
Okay.
Not even my co-host.
Okay, so here's the thing with posting as far as that, right? People need to be told about it often and all the time.
Through that whole month, I said it in every podcast. I'm on Patreon, blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
just,
but you're
talking.
You're talking that's probably like 4 episodes, right? So we really need.
Oh, I have back then I was having 3 episodes a week.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I'm changing up a lot is that I'm only doing 1 a week, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Most of the time, just 1 a week from now on. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good consistency, honestly.
Mhm.
But some of these things here might be just that they need to be reminded of it again because you have new listeners,
Maybe.
right?
True.
You have new
Yeah.
listeners that weren't there last year or the last time you tried it. And again, a lot of these that I've mentioned, like even Patreon's free, Buy Me a Coffee is free. You don't have to put any money into either one of those. It's just an email address. And if you have a Patreon, it's already set up. And, because you have the ability on, something like Patreon to give them additional content, that could be a benefit too. Like $5 to get the podcast episode a day before, but then every month I'm going to do a live with just you guys, that type of thing. And so
they don't have any interest. They don't have any interest. I can sense it. They have no interest in that. They don't want to be involved in my life. And so I don't want that either. I just want to do the podcast. I don't want to interact with my listeners that way. I want to interact with them when they write me and one-on-one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would rather them come on the podcast and be a guest than anything. So that's what I care about. The podcast.
When they come on,
how do I monetize it?
Yeah.
So I don't want to bring people in and do other things for it because it didn't work. I've tried it every angle, and this is when I had the 10% ranking, and I don't know that I've brought that many people in because Spotify, those numbers didn't make sense to me. This 21% and the 99%. Oh, I don't understand those stats, what they're talking about. So, because the growth has been really consistent every year. So how could it be 999% growth when it's like you've gotten 21% more listeners in Spotify. So I'm like, but last year I got like 40% more, and the year before that, like 20% more. So, it's just like they just decide to make it exciting. It's just propaganda.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you, Spotify. It felt great.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
I don't.
the listeners do not have any money. The listeners do not have any money to spend on anything. I don't have any money to spend on anything, but publishers do, newspapers do, singers do, artists do. I don't. But that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Who do I pitch? Who would want to have their name involved? To throw a few dollars at it. That's what I would rather do, and do a host read ad about them. And that's where I would like to do it, but I don't know how to approach people that way.
Yeah. So I think in this particular case, what you need to do is you need to pull the information that Spotify does give you for stats. So it's important when you're reaching out to sponsors that you have some type of what I would consider a media kit. You need some sort of proof that the podcast is growing year after year, which you have. You've been getting these emails, even though maybe you don't understand them, fully.
I get most of what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. You have that information. You have those hard facts. And that is what any kind of sponsor is going to look at. They're going to look at those and say, this has good content. This particular podcast is being seen by people. People are listening. And so here's the thing. The first step is they want to see that you have a podcast that is consistent, and that you have good audio, and that you are in their niche, or somebody that is a niche adjacent to where they're going to be, or would have people that would buy from them, right? And then, of course, they're going to want to see your stats. So they're going to want to see that you have so many listeners. And even though listeners is not necessarily quantifiable, you can definitely tell by how many downloads you have, how many listeners you have approximately.
We have 60,000 on Spotify total.
That's great. Yeah. So that would be something that is
we just crossed the threshold. That's why I know that.
Yeah.
It's like 60,000 to 12 or something.
And that's great. And that's quantifiable to be able to give to to bring to the table for somebody that is aligned with you, right? Somebody that is aligned to be able to say, I would.
How do I ask them that that's what I'm doing? I mean, how do I approach it? Like when I'm writing a book query letter, it's like, hey, you're the best person to publish my book because of this. This is what my book's about. And now you love me because I'm a writer already. So do that.
you want to reach out to them first, or first of all, what you want to do is you want to find somebody that you think would be a good partner. And then you're going to try to like soft reach out to them via like Facebook or Instagram or Threads or something like that. And just let them know who you are, like their content.
I do really a lot of them.
Yeah. But make posts or make comments on their content. Then hopefully if you can go to their website or something, you can maybe see who the media person is or who those people are that they work with, and then reach out and just say, hey, I have a podcast and the podcast does this. And I really think that you guys would be a great fit to partner with. Are you interested in any kind of partnership deal?
Yeah.
And that would be an easy in, because they've already seen your name a couple times come across their social media a couple times. And it's not like a hard, fast, like, hey, I'm trying to sell you something. And, would you just come sponsor me? Because I'm really great. Like, you don't want to do that. You want to soft lob it to them. Right. You want to make it so that they're like, oh, I remember this name.
If I were to pitch publishing companies, I love them. I'm in the industry, so I know the publishing companies. That's where I really want to pitch. But like I said, the one I did try to pitch, they gave me a guess, and they kind of I think they were asking me to see how much I would charge for an ad, but I couldn't read between the lines because I don't understand the language that they were speaking to me. You know what I mean? Like their email was they knew what they were saying, but I didn't know what they were saying.
Okay.
But I know the publishers, so I can make them personalized. Like I know, I buy all your tarot cards from Lo Scarabeo or something. Like the best tarot cards in the world are Lo Scarabeo. Oh no, that's not true, but they're great. They're really good quality. But that's what I would like to do because that's what I know about. And that's where I'd probably start because I could make it personalized. But I don't know. I'd have to talk to Everclear and see if they were okay with, I think they'd be fine if I had other sponsors. They don't care, I don't think. But I'll have to ask that first if I were to write other places and see if they would host an episode or something,
And don't negate the fact that, you mentioned how much Everclear gives you a month, but if somebody else was willing to give you twice that, maybe then it is that, Everclear, because usually sponsors, this isn't happening for you, but usually sponsors will say, we'd like a 1 month or 3 month deal. And so it would be then you don't get the money from the sponsorship from Everclear for the 1 or 3 months, but
so
you still
couldn't
make it
have
up.
I couldn't have
more
3 or 4. Okay, because I think Everclear would be fine if I had more than one, but other people might not want more than one.
But other people may not. Yes. Mm-hmm. So that's something to consider. But if they're paying you more than the other one is, then it might be something that you.
Well, I'm such a loyal person, though. I'm real loyal. Money's not worth it to me.
Okay.
That's why I'm poor, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So then
my stupid ideals keep me poor.
You are definitely looking for some. Then I think in that also, so I would start the conversation by saying that you would love to be able to talk to them about partnering together. But then I would, in the second email, once you got something back from them, I would definitely mention to them that you have a sponsor that you're not willing to drop. So this would be an additional sponsor, and just be upfront about that with them.
I will,
so that they can then they make that decision too. You both do. But I think that's a great place to start. Definitely,
that's wonderful
start with
advice.
Just some
Kim.
outreach here, and then get them to. And you don't want to just go in cold.
No,
nobody likes that.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Nobody likes that. So, yeah. All right. So did I help you at all? How do you feel?
Help me a shit ton. Excuse my language. You can leave that out. It'll make it pretty.
Yeah.
You can put a little Twitter bird over that. But thank you, Kim. This was really helpful. I can't believe how helpful this was. And I hope a lot of people who listened who were in the psychic industry, if you're doing anything in the psychic industry, listen to this and got some ideas too, because I think you just really helped me out. Because I told you like how strict I am about my ad thing, and that's kind of narrowing a lot of my options. But you still gave me a way through it. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Before we end the show, could you give a little plug for your show?
Sure. My show is called We're All Psychic, and my co-host is Donna Murphy. My old co-host was Missy Lore. What we do is the first thing we ask our guests in conversations is, do you think we're all psychic? And then they answer, and that is the beginning of the podcast. And it goes from there.
Awesome. I love that. And you can be found on all of the distributions. I've already looked you up. So you're
I'm on
Instagram.
Available. Instagram is Psy Reader Lisa. That's Psy as in psychic, PsyReaderLisa. And that's pretty much all my handles across everything. Psy Reader Lisa, Facebook. On TikTok, I think it's Psy Reader Lisa 6. They age verified me when I did Psy Reader Lisa, and they failed me with the little because I look younger than 50, and then they wouldn't let me use my account anymore. So I tried again, and this time they let me go.
Those bots, they'll kick out anybody, or they
I know.
Yeah. I get it. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much for today. And I'll send people over there. And
thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Podcasting for Spiritual Women. If you would like more strategy and tips and some tricks on how to make your podcast better, I recommend that you join my newsletter list. You can find that at kpcreativemedia.com/newsletter. Until next time.